Thanks everyone for coming out and to hear about the Cygnus gold story. We have a really special investment opportunity through the Pontax lithium project. We're in a Tier 1 location in the James Bay district in Canada. We're literally 250 kilometres from the Corvette project that Patriot talked about this morning. We've got Allchem's James Bay project only 50 kilometres away. For those that don't know who we are, we have three founding directors of Bellevue Gold that are associated with the company. Bellevue Gold's drilled over 600,000 metres to delineate over a 3 million ounce gold resource. Orteco Minerals has drilled over 150,000 metres to come up with a 2.3 million ounce resource, and that's all within 3 to 4 years. So what we do well is we believe shareholder value is driven through the drill bit very rapidly, and that's what we've got here at Pontax, which is a resource growth story. We've drilled 25, or historic drilling has come up with 25 drill holes, and every single hole of those have hit spodumene. We've also put 3 holes into it ourselves as part of a large 10,000 metre program. Once again, we've hit spodumene and we've doubled the depth of the known mineralisation, and we think we found a parallel structure. So we're pretty excited about what we've got. And we're looking to get a maiden resource out by mid next year. So just to go through Cygnus Gold and how we intend to grow the Pontax lithium project. So once again, I think we're in one of the hottest lithium provinces in the world at the moment in James Bay, Canada. It's Patriots have got a world-class discovery there. We're down the road from Allchem. What attracted us to the project, so this is not a greenfield project, we've only had the project for 3 to 4 months. And like I said, 25 holes, all they put into it was along the 620 metre outcrop. So they didn't extend, so we know it's open at depth, we know it's open along strike, and they only drilled down to 100 metres. So that's music to our ears. It was a Canadian junior that was starved of cash. And I guess what we bring to the table as a group, we've got great access to capital markets, and like I said, we know how to drill, and we know how to drill resource growth, drill out, which is a part of our growth story. So we've got also quite a large package now of over 266 square kilometres, and we've got visible pegmatites that we've tested over a 10-kilometre strike. So we know we've got a resource growth drill out to do, and we'll do that over the next 6 to 8 months, but we've also got a very large land package which gives us a lot of scale. Since acquiring this project, we've been able to generate a shareholder base that's over 25% institutionalised now, and the directors and management also hold over 20% of the company. So a very tight register, and we've all written cheques out because we certainly believe in what we've got here. Quebec has got excellent infrastructure, it's got hydro. We are 4 kilometres from a sealed highway, and like I said, we're 50 kilometres from James Bay's Allchem project, which they've said publicly that they're building a downstream processing facility, which is music to our ears. We do have a highly experienced management team. I mean, we've got the likes of David Southam, Steve Parsons, Ray Shorrocks, Mike Boehm, and Mark Caldwood, all very highly regarded mining executives and lithium specialists associated with the company. So we're in really good hands on how we take this project forward. So here we are. We're right in the heart of the James Bay district. Like I said, Allchem's James Bay project is only 50 kilometres up the road on a sealed highway. And then we've got Patriots, like I said, amazing discovery, 250 kilometres northwest of us. We looked at this project, and the 25 holes had some amazing high-grade shallow intercepts there, 9 metres at 1.7, 15.6 at 1.6, 4.8 at 2.6. That 15.6 at 1.6 is the shallowest, is only 80 metres below surface, and it's the thickest on section. So it looks like it's getting deeper, thicker as we go deeper, and that's certainly come out from our latest round of drilling where we've got now a 37 metre intercept that sits there down to 200 metres. We recently completed LiDAR and magnetics over just that 10-kilometre strike, and we've come up with a number of really exciting targets that we want to get out and drill test when we can. Like I said, we've started our 10,000 metre drill campaign. We started it in early November. It'll go all the way through to April where we'll assess results, so we're going to have consistent news flow. But we've only drilled 3 holes, and every single hole since we started had the project too has also hit spodumene. And once again, we've doubled the known mineralisation at depth, and we think we found a parallel structure just to the north of the Pontax Central, which we're calling Pontax North, and we think we may be onto another Pontax. Just a little bit about Quebec. So Quebec is going to be really important to the US lithium market, or North American lithium market. It sits, on the border of the second largest EV market in the world. So they're really an emerging powerhouse in lithium. I mean, I've just spent a month up in Canada, and I get a real sense that Ontario and lithium are fighting it out to see who's going to be the superior lithium province up there. I mean, since we've been up there, we've already received a $250,000 grant for the government just to do some drilling and met test work. So the Quebec government is certainly throwing a bit of money around because they really want to be the leader up there. And they're certainly investing in infrastructure, roads, hydro, and the whole network up there. And like I said before, interesting that Allkem have come out and said that they're going to build a downstream processing plant in the James Bay district, not only to cater for their own project up there, which has got 40 million tonnes, but to cater for the whole district. So that's music to our ears from a processing perspective, because we'd be able to ship a concentrate up there where they could potentially do a hydroxide. Very quickly on the capital structure, which we've talked about before. Market shares on issue about 165 million. We've got a market cap or EV of around 72 million, market cap around 81 million. We have 9 in the bank, so we're certainly well funded to complete this 10,000 metre drill program. And our shareholders there, like I said, we're about 25% institutionalised already. We've got Merck there, who's a well-known North American fund at 9.9%. We've got RCF, we've got Terra Capital, a number of well-known Australian institutions on our register already. And the board and management owns close to 20% as well. So just quickly on the board, like I said, Ray Shorrocks, founding chairman of Bellevue Gold, investment banker, sits there as the chair. David Southam has joined as a non-exec director in November. He takes the seat as managing director in early February. He, for those who don't know, grew Mincor Resources from a 60 million market cap to over $1 billion market cap. So he was really excited to get involved. He did a lot of DD of the project, a lot of DD on the management team, and certainly we're going to welcome him when he starts as managing director in February. And then we've got Mike Boehm, who sits on the Mincor board and is ex Ramelius director as well. So a really well-credentialed board there to be able to drive value in the project. And these are the people that are going to drive from a management team value into our project. There's a number of people here that are really highly regarded mining executives and know how to do resource growth or drill outs, which is what we're doing. So we've got Gareth Reynolds here, which we managed to sort of poach out of retirement. He was involved in a 30 million tonne drill out at Bald Hill in Western Australia. And he's also been head of exploration for SQM, which is one of the largest lithium companies in the world. So great to have him join us and help us out in that resource growth drill out. And then we've got Duncan Grieve there. So he was one of the geologists that found Bellevue Gold. He was there through that whole 3 million ounce discovery. So his expertise is also resource drill outs, which is why he's come across to join us at Cygnus. And then we've got Steve Parsons there, founding director of Bellevue Gold. So he's certainly helping us out in what we're doing there. And then we've got Mark Calderwood. He wrote the book on pegmatites at WA. So he's an advisor to the board. He was involved with our due diligence that we went through the whole Pontax process, and he was super excited about what he saw, in particular the large crystals that we've got within our pegmatites and how visual our spodumene is. So here we are. This is the 620 metre outcrop that sits at Pontax, and that's all that was drilled, that 620 metre outcrop. So very simple drilling. These guys, the previous owners did not go back and have a look at first principles of geology, which is what we do, and all they did was drill down circa 100 metres. They sort of raised a little bit of capital, put a couple of holes in, and then sort of rinse and repeat. And they did that over a 15-year period. So we've been able to raise a good lick of money, and we're going to drill more than what they drilled in that whole 15-year period in the first 2 months of the project. So we're going to give this project justification. And there's the lay of the land. It's just low scrubby trees that sit there through our project. Access through this area is actually easy, so we're able to drill all year round here. So this is one of the pictures that really excited someone like Mark Calderwood. We're seeing up to 40% spodumene in these pegmatites at surface, and we're also seeing up to 40 centimetres the size of the crystals within the spodumene. So what that means is, we shouldn't have any problems with metallurgical recoveries, and a simple DMS process or flow sheet should be the way to go for something like Pontax. Here's a plan view of our drilling. This is, like I said, that's the 620 metre outcrop that sits there and the 25 holes that went into it. Really an interesting thing from our perspective when we got out there is that there's a pegmatite that sits here to the north, there's a pegmatite that sits here to the southwest, and there's a pegmatite that sits here to the south. These pegmatites have never been tested. We went out and tested them over our summer field campaign over 2 months ago, and we expect the results from those rock chips and channel samples to come through in mid-December. But what astounds me is that they're all within that sort of 200-metre radius of a main outcrop that we know holds spodumene. So we're pretty excited to see what those results come back in mid-December. And here's, I'll just go through the first 3 holes of our drilling campaign. Like I said, the thickest intercept, that section there, was about 100 metres down, and that was the 15 metres at 1.6% lithium. What we put out on Tuesday, just gone, is that we've hit a 37.2 mineralised spodumene intersection down here at between 200 and 230 metres of depth. So we have already doubled the size of the known mineralisation at depth. We've got another 6.4 metre mineralised spodumene zone that sits up here as well. We've just gone below the 620 metre outcropping there, and we're pretty excited to know that spodumene continues at depth, and we haven't even tested the strike extensions or what we're seeing in other pegmatites. The third hole we did was up to the north here, and amazingly we were able to hit another spodumene bearing pegmatite, 13 metres up there of spodumene bearing pegmatite. So we know we've got a pegmatite that outcrops here at surface, so we actually think this is another pontac sits up here at north. So there is a theory amongst the geologists that we're seeing a number of these stacked spodumene bearing pegmatites in a swarm. So this actually leads us to think that we do have something of substance here, and this is going to be something of scale. And we've only tested sort of, that 620 metre by 200 metre radius, which is great. So just moving on. So what we've tested here is just this little blob here, which is the 620 metre outcrop there. We've gone and flown LIDAR and magnetics. So what LIDAR does is it actually just brings up slight elevations in topography. So a lot of this area is covered in moss, it is covered in trees. But the guys have gone out there and already identified a number of pegmatites. So we're seeing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more pegmatites that were just outcropping and known that sits across that 10-kilometre strike. So never been tested again. So we're just stepping out very moderately on this project, and we certainly see there's a fair bit of scale to be had here as well. And another really interesting thing about what the LIDAR picked up from us is that slight elevation topography. So we went out and had a look at some of the areas that were undercover. So a lot of these elevations that sit there are covered in moss. So the guys just went down and dug down 30 centimetres on that moss, on that elevation, and there's a pegmatite under it. So 98% of this area is undercover, and we're already seeing, we only really have to dig the surface there, and we're seeing pegmatites. So once again, this area is totally underexplored, and I know that gets touted around a lot, but this certainly is an underexplored area, and we're already seeing, the benefits of our expertise coming through. So then we talk about stepping out again. What we've managed to do in the last couple of months as well is expand our land holding. So all work we've done here is on this 10 kilometres of strike with the main outcropping sitting there. We've now managed to pick up 40 kilometres of strike along a greenstone belt, and our neighbours to the west, they've got a rock chip there, sitting at 2.8% lithium. It's never been drill tested. Our guys have gone out and had a look at it. So, owned by another, a Canadian junior starved of cash, we were able to do a very cheap deal to earn into the project, and we're pretty excited to see what that holds. And then down to the southwest, we've got a tantalum rock chip there at 524 ppm, which is a really high tantalum number and an excellent pathfinder there for lithium. So once again, never been drill tested. Next summer we'll get out and assess that whole land package. But, just the whole potential along that greenstone belt is phenomenal. And once again, it's just a completely underexplored area. And just quickly, we did pick up the Mitsumas project, which is only 20 kilometres from Rose, which has close to 35 million tonnes there, same geology, same rocks. So that's very much greenfields, but that land package is pretty exciting in itself as well. Just quickly running out of time, but we do have a WA project that we also think has the potential for lithium. When we went back and had a look at some of the historic results there, we saw that there was some drilling there that was really high in niobium and really high in tantalum. So we've gone back and auger tested that whole sort of 2.2 kilometre anomaly that you see sits there, and we expect the results to come out there in the next 4 weeks. But we're certainly pretty excited about what that could hold from a greenfields exploration perspective. Just on our news flow, we have released the results of the magnetics and LiDAR. Might have turned that off, or that was a hint that I have to get off. We've started our drilling program in early November. We expect the samples from all those rock chips along that 10-kilometre strike to come back in mid-December, so the news flow will come thick and fast from here. We've already released the first 3 drill holes of our drilling campaign from a visual perspective, but we expect assays to start coming back in January. And then you're going to see a very consistent news flow of drill results. We have secured a second rig, and now we're looking at getting a third rig. So, like I said, this is our expertise, and resource growth and drill outs is what we do. And we've now publicly stated that we'll be in a position to come out with a maiden resource sort of mid next year. So that's the game plan. Thank you.